Hear me out, you guys. What's sad to me and revealing, and my brothers are actually the ones that have brought this to my attention, right? But what's sad and revealing to me is the fact that when it comes to a lot of the modern women, and I hate to do this, but I have to, in America, why is it that there are not men from all over the world, from different countries, the whole nine, coming here to pursue us on a very serious level or at all, right? I'm not even hearing about men traveling to America to hit and quit. You know what I mean?
Don't you want to be with a woman that is worldly, educated, well-traveled, can bring something to the table, rather than somebody that has absolutely no idea about anything in life and really can't contribute anything outside of just being a woman?
The idea of being well-traveled is a giant red flag for most men, because typically, when a woman, if I look at a woman's Instagram page and I see pictures of her on a private jet, on a yacht, in multiple different fancy locations, she's in Mykonos here, she's in Paris, she's in Dubai, she's in New York, my immediate assumption is this woman is a hoe.
Okay, so this is the story. I haven't read it yet, so I don't even know what it's going to say, so I'm just going to react to it naturally like usual. New York Post, that's my New York newspaper, one of them. The other one's the Daily News. Power trip. Why more women than ever are cheating on their husbands. March 8th, 2023. That was a couple of days ago. Today's March 15th. Okay, so they've got a video clip here. I'm not going to watch it because I don't know if YouTube will screw with me with the copyright thing. And I haven't watched it yet, so I'll just read the caption. It says, Nikki has been married for 15 years, and she's been cheating on her husband for 12 of them. God damn. I mean, Jesus Christ. 12? You've been married 15 years. You've been cheating for 12 years? God damn. Then what was the point? Well, no. I'm not going to say what was the point in getting married, because I've said it before I even read this story. The point in getting married is because she wants your resources, but she also wants to have her cake and eat it too. So basically, she's got her hand in your pocket, and she's got her other hand in her work husband's pants. I can't believe that 12, my God, Jesus. And by the way, before I even start reading this, because I'm not one to divert too much from a story, but there are these dudes on YouTube. These dudes, I share my wife. Yeah, I'm not interested in having kids because I share my wife. I share my girlfriend. I'm like, it's like you admit to this on the internet in front of billions of people who are watching, and you don't think there's anything wrong with this? And let's go over some of the terms, because you know how I like to lay down the terms. First of all, you've got polyamory, which means you've got multiple people expressing love and stuff and having a relationship with each other. So this can go either way. It could be multiple men in a relationship. It could be multiple women in a relationship. It could go any way. Polyamory just means multiple love, basically. But then you've got polyandry. And when you hear a lot of these women talking about this poly relationships, they're talking about polyandry. And that andry means man. And they want you to accept their relationship with multiple men. That's the new, it's funny. I never thought we would get to this point where anything like this would even be remotely tolerable. Like, even when I was growing up, I had always heard that in some communities they have like wife swapping and they have swingers and stuff. And I know I saw that Tom Cruise movie, I think it was Eyes Wide Shut. But I I just never imagined that things would get this bad. I just never imagined it. So there's polyandry. There's multiple men. And then you've got polygyny. And that means that there's like multiple women. So you might have a polygynous relationship where there's a man who has multiple women. And then you got polyandry where you have a woman who has multiple men. And then there's polygamy. But polygamy, Gamy, usually polygamy is sanctioned through marriage. There are certain countries you can go to, such as like parts of Nigeria. There's a lot of parts of Africa, parts of the Middle East, where they still have polygamy and polygyny, where you have one man who's married to multiple women. Now, there's very few countries where you have polyandry, where you have one woman with multiple husbands. Papua New Guinea, I've read, is a place where you have polyandry. But I've read some very, very shocking and disturbing things about the people in Papua New Guinea, because I've read a lot of stuff. I've read a lot of literature. I've read very, very distressing and shocking things about these people in Papua New Guinea. Things that I'm almost afraid to say because of this damn YouTube algorithm. Like I'm talking, like if you look it up, I've read some shocking things, incestuous things. That like I don't even want to, like the stuff that come to mind that I've read. I don't even want to talk about it because it's just shocking. Like, there's just one thing which, let me use words. I'm gonna speed this up, but let me just use words that the YouTube censor might not pick up. So apparently, in order to build masculinity in the young males have to drink the milkshake. My milkshake brings other boys to the yard. They say it's better than yours. They got to drink the milkshake of the tribal elder men. And I'm like, what? Huh? They're saying that the young males got to drink the milkshake of the tribal elders. Like, I've read so much, like, and this whole thing about the polyandry and everything, man, I've read some shocking, disturbing shit about Papua New Guinea. Like, it's stuff I don't even want to talk about. But as far as polyandry, one of the only places in the world where I've seen polyandry accepted is Papua New Guinea. Now, what these American women, however, are doing is they're trying to force you to accept polyandry outside of the bounds of marriage. See, I'm not down with it, but I can understand if you have a culture where they have polyandry because there's more men than there are women. I can understand that because, see, listen, first of all, we already know that shit don't work. A woman's very biology doesn't allow that to work. Like when you're mixing other people's bodily fluids in your body, like you got to understand when you eat food, there's bacteria in your body that help you digest that food, right? When you take anything into your body, there's bacteria that literally colonize your body. And those bacteria react very, very violently when you have, how should I say, multiple foreign bodies entering your body. And, you know, it's like reactions, allergic reactions and stuff like that. So if you have a man and a woman, there's actually plenty of scientific research that shows that when a woman drinks a man's milkshake, it helps actually prepare her body. I hope you follow me, because, see, I'm trying to be vague. When a woman drinks a man's milkshake the man made her milkshake, right? It helps to prepare her body for his pregnancy that he's going to give her by allowing her body to prepare itself instead of rejecting his antibody. Well, no, instead of her body making antibodies to reject his, how should I say, his chemicals. When that woman's drinking that man's milkshake, it helps to prepare her body so that she can be pregnant in order, when they have a relationship, they have babies, this, that, and other. But if you got multiple men and you got multiple milkshakes, that's not good. That's just not good. And men know it. But here's the problem. This insanity that we're living under, this modern woman insanity, we're talking about it every day. We're talking about it in terms of passport bros, get your passports because it's really that bad. But now you're about to see just how bad it actually is. Now, I've diverted for a while because I'm trying to talk about this stuff. And you notice I'm not cursing because I don't want the YouTube algorithm coming at me. You notice that I'm using these vague-ass terms like milkshake, and that's what it's all about. But what I'm saying is they're trying to force you to accept this. They're trying to force you to accept sharing your wife. And there are dudes on YouTube. These people call themselves dating coaches. I call them dating roaches. I don't call them coaches. No, they're not coaching anything. They're roaches. The ones with 6 legs and antennas. So anyway, these people are literally saying that they share their wives and that's game because they got game. So they're so comfortable sharing. Oh, because after all, she's going to cheat anyway, so I just share her. I'm like, okay, let me just push the power button on my computer, turn it off, because that's enough YouTube for today. All right, okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to get to the story because this is just insane. Like, this stuff is just insane. It says this mother of 2 who is in her late 30s keeps track of her potential paramours via spreadsheet. She's got an Excel document in order to keep track of all the milkshakes she's drinking. Do you understand what I'm saying? She turns on Microsoft Office and she pushes the Excel button to turn on a spreadsheet. And she's typing, yes, today I had milkshake from Brad, and tomorrow I'll have milkshake from Jamal. And maybe later that night I'll have milkshake from Pookie. And the next morning I'll have milkshake from Ray Ray. Do you understand what I'm saying? Has an untraceable Google Voice number for communicating with her suitors and arranges rendezvous through WhatsApp. So you know how all you dudes are bragging about, oh, yeah, I be in her DMs. I DM her. I say, yeah, I want to come over and give her some milkshake. And she just jumps right up and says, yeah, I want some milkshake. Yeah, well, you're talking to this woman exactly. This is who you're talking to. She's got a spreadsheet. And after you, it'll be Pookie. And after Pookie, it'll be Ray Ray. And after Ray Ray, it'll be Brad. And after Brad, it'll be Chad. You understand what I'm saying? She generally juggles multiple sexual partners at a time. And once she had sex with 4 different men on the same day. So Chad, Pookie, Ray Ray, and Brad on the same. Sure, one of those 4 hookups lasted 20 minutes. But she didn't care. She didn't want to be cuddled. This is the New York Post, by the way, just in case you didn't know. This is a major prominent. This is not like the Sun. This is not some tabloid that they just toss at the Costco register. And it's like on your way out, you just look at it and it says some crazy stuff like, yeah, Michael Jackson might still be alive, or Liza Minnelli caught doing this, or something like that. This is not a tabloid. This right here, the New York Post, this is a paper that is printed every day, and it's put there for people to buy next to the Daily News. Those are our 2 in here in New York. We have 3 prominent newspapers: the New York Times, the New York Post, and the Daily News. This is not a tabloid. This is what people are reading when they're on their way to work in the morning. This is what people are reading when they're looking for stock advice or something like that, or help wanted. This is where we've come. 20 or 30 years ago, you would have never seen anything even remotely like this in the paper. You wouldn't have. This is my city. I live here. I've lived here in New York City for 40 years. All right, let me keep going. So they got a nice picture right here. I'm probably going to use this as my thumbnail. Her verdict. It says afterwards, she says she showered. Of course, you got to wipe all that milkshake. You got to get all that milkshake off. You remember what Daniel Plainview, you remember what he said? I drink your milkshake. I drink it up. That's what he said. Anyway, afterwards, she says she showered, took a work meeting, went on a dinner date, and had fun with another man. Her verdict, it was amazing. Yeah, excuse me, nurse, do we have any STD tests? Because I think I might have caught something from Pookie, Ray, Brad, or Chad. Anyway, yeah, so this is the picture right here. It says a new podcast, She Wants More, talked to married women about why and how they cheat. So these women, because see, that's the crazy thing about women. Women run their mouths to the point where all you got to do is just let them talk and they'll tell every goddamn thing, things you don't even want to know. Like, it's like if you get a couple beers in them, all of a sudden they're telling you codes to Mega Man 6. And you're like, I didn't ask you any of that. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, I just wanted to share. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Okay, let's keep going. It was so cool because I got to really be in the driver's seat and get exactly what I wanted. And I had just happened to feel sexually greedy that day. Nikki, not her real name, reveals in the new iHeartRadio podcast, She Wants More, hosted by author Joe Piazza. It's such a power trip to be able to command the sexual presence of people you desire and have them fulfill whatever it is you need. Nikki tells Piazza, it's crazy. They're I want you to understand something. They're bragging about this. Okay. Nikki appears on the first episode of She Wants More, Piazza's 8-part series examining female infidelity. Piazza herself, a married mother of 3, has spent the last 5 years interviewing wedded couples for the podcast Committed. But about 2 years ago, she learned that a friend of hers was cheating on her spouse. Then she learned of another and another. Piazza was shocked and intrigued. I was seeing so many more women I knew have affairs, and a lot of women I didn't expect, Piazza, 42, told the Post. So she's a little bit older than me, and she's getting all these milkshakes. And she's bragging about it, by the way. She spent a year interviewing some 24 women of different ages and backgrounds and from all over the country about their extramarital affairs, from a young gymnastics coach who fell in love with her husband's best friend to an accomplished 60-something who has been happily cheating on her husband with multiple partners for over 30 years. Jesus Christ. Really? The podcast tells their stories with additional insights from experts like Susan Shapiro Barash, whose book about women's affairs, A Passion for More, inspired the podcast. At first, I went into it with my own judgment, Piazza admitted. I'm married, so I was like, oh my gosh, it's the worst thing you can do. But she learned that women had all sorts of complex reasons for seeking sex outside their marriage, and that doing so did not ruin their lives. Yeah, because your husband probably hasn't found out about it because you're cheating on him behind his back. But here's the problem, though. You see, you're saying it doesn't ruin your life. And the reality is, when your husband does find out, because eventually he's going to find out, if he finds out, you have no idea how violently he may react to it. Now, y'all know what I'm talking about, because I see every single day I turn on the news, some how should I say, jaded or angry or this some husband who feels like he had a knife put in his back. Yeah, well, that doesn't end too well, because a lot of these men, they don't. The word tolerate comes to mind, but a lot of these men, they just don't deal. They don't take it well. They don't deal with it well, and just so I can avoid censorship with the YouTube algorithm, all I'll say is that some of these dudes, they don't even think twice and they just start popping. Y'all know what I'm saying. They don't even think twice about it. They don't even think twice. Now the guy who is the paramour, it may or may not even be his fault. He may have been lied to. She may never have told him that she's involved in a relationship with Pookie. Meanwhile, she's sleeping with Ray Ray. Thing about it is, Pookie, he might just start popping, and Ray Ray becomes a victim. And it's just that simple. And she might be the next victim. I've seen it so many times. And then you never know, because in grief, after Ray Ray's laying there, and after what's her name? Nikki? After Nikki's laying there, Pookie might put himself down. You know? That's how it works. Because some of these dudes don't handle this shit very well. But anyway, Nikki says that she has become more confident. Oh, okay, so now she's gotten away with it so many times. Yeah, I can do it anytime I feel like it. Hey, Pookie tonight, Ray Ray tomorrow, Jed, Prad, whatever his name is. Yeah, I'll get him later. All right. Self-assured and more relaxed since signing up for hookup site Ashley Madison. Now, first of all, I remember when they had these Ashley Madison commercials way back when Opie and Anthony was on the radio. And let me tell you something. It was no surprise to me that they got hacked and people's got spilled out on the internet who was doing what. It was no surprise to me that was going to happen. It's like you're just asking for it. It's like you're literally putting yourself in a database of cheaters and just hoping that you don't get hacked. I mean, come on, that's just dumb. That's just dumb. It's like you want to get caught. Anyway, where are we? Before she would beg her husband to spank her or pull her hair, anything that would add some excitement into the bedroom, and then feel embarrassed or ashamed, even undesirable, when he would ignore her requests. So you mean to tell me the husband, well, some people don't want to hit people, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes spankings and all that stuff, sometimes guys don't want to do stuff like that because they're afraid if, something happens, they're going to end up in cuffs. Like they're afraid they're going to end up locked up. So I can understand why, sometimes you don't want to do stuff. Well, I can understand that because, nowadays, especially in America, nobody trusts nobody. Because next thing you know, oh, yeah, spank me, daddy, spank me. Next thing you know, 911 emergency. Where's your emergency? It's like, yeah, he hit me. He hit me. Look at that star who was on television, that star who just was acquitted of sexual harassment, I believe, or sexual indecency. The guy was acquitted. Like, I was just watching that video, and they showed the video, and the guy did nothing at all. And they showed the video. They were at the bar. I don't even know the guy's name because I don't watch television like that. But he was like a sportscaster or something. And he was just acquitted. Yeah, it's like men don't trust y'all. And they have no reason to. Look at this goddamn story. Bitch cheating for 30 years. So anyway, what's next? Now Nikki says she's less resentful and less spiteful. I don't have a lot of tension built up in my chest or stress or anxiety of any kind of that negative cloud that grows within you when you go without for so long. And you start looking at this person like, why can't you understand? Why can't you give me these things? Why are we stuck in this marriage when I deserve to be happy, deserve to feel good? Nikki confesses. Having that room to breathe just makes you less bitchy, for lack of a better word. While every woman has different reasons for cheating, many of the podcast subjects share similar traits. Often they met their spouses and married when they were very young, late teens, early 20s. Okay? For several, sex with their partner happened often less after having children. And they felt a lack of confidence or attractiveness as a result. So what they did was they started cheating in order to get their groove back. And this is how Stella got her groove back. She took a trip down to Jamaica, and next thing you know, she's getting buttered up like a Thanksgiving turkey. All right. Many felt that they could no longer communicate with their husbands, especially about their desires. Only one woman interviewed, the former gymnastics coach Katie, strayed because she fell in love with someone else and was essentially run out of town when their mutual acquaintances found out. Good. In fact, most of the women Piazza interviews say that they love their husbands and have no intention of leaving them. They just cheat. They just want a little more variety. I don't want to leave him. I mean, what would I do without him? Besides cheat with Pookie and Ray Ray. Anyway, the weird thing about monogamy is that it's like saying red is your favorite color, and then you have to wear red and only red for the rest of your days, says Monique, who has been married for 30 years. What if I wake up and feel like wearing yellow? Does that mean that red isn't my favorite color anymore? No, of course not. Well, here's the thing. First of all, if you're married, what you're basically doing is you're entering into a contract with somebody that says that you'll be exclusively with that person. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You're not supposed to be cheating if you're married. Now, if you're not married, you can do whatever you want with whoever you want, and the other person either accepts it or doesn't accept it. But the issue is, once you enter into a marriage, that's a contract. I seem to remember the words, for richer, for poor, for sicker, for health, till death do us part. Yeah, well, some of these people take that till death do us part seriously. They take that very seriously. So seriously that as soon as they find out you're cheating, they're loading something up and they're getting ready to empty it out, if you get my drift. But yeah, if you're entering into a contract and then you're cheating, the infidelity thing, some people don't take that very well. And regardless how you feel about it, it might result in you getting turned into a sloppy mess, if you get my drift. So anyway, Monique, an accomplished professional in her mid-50s with 2 grown kids, went on Craigslist after her husband says he wasn't interested in a threesome. Now think about this. The husband says, I got married to be mutually with you. That's what I agreed to. That's what I put my hand on the Bible and swore to underneath God. So, no, man, I'm sorry. No threesomes. I don't want to do that because I don't think the Lord would like it. But Katie over here, no. I got to have Pookie and Ray Ray. I need Pookie and Ray Ray. It's not about just Pookie. I need Pookie and Ray Ray. And you need to let me do this. In fact, hubby, you can hold the camera while Pookie and Ray Ray are here. Are you kidding me? Really? This is how bad it's gotten? Really? Jesus. She ended up meeting a younger man and seeing him on and off for 12 years. The affair was fun, sexy, and enriching, but she would never call it romantic. So what you're saying is he was just using you for practice and you were letting him. That's what you're saying. I bet you if you asked him what are her children's names, he wouldn't know. Monique says of her first fling, well, here's the thing. He's not supposed to know your children's names because, number one, you're not supposed to be cheating. And number two, you damn sure aren't supposed to be letting any foreign man around your children. Like, how has it really gotten that bad? Okay, since then, she has experimented with BDSM. So this is where you tie people up and you whip them and you slap them and you spank them and bite them and all that. What is it? Bondage sadomasochism. Okay. Had a threesome and even wore a corset and a strap-on for one partner's erotic Victorian fantasy. For Monique, sleeping with other people is about having a broad experience of life. For Monique, I think Monique has a problem, and it's not a good one. It says, as she puts it, it's an opportunity to meet at an intimate level the kind of person I would not otherwise encounter. The national opinion Research Center's General Social Survey found that American wives were 40%. American wives were 40% more likely to cheat on their spouses in 2010 than in 1990. Well, obviously, you know what the difference is between 1990 and 2010. Obviously, in simplest terms, it's the internet. In 1990, we didn't have it. Smartphones, thanks to Apple, I don't even think about Android no more, but thanks to Apple in 2007, we got the iPhone. I think it was 4 iPhones later, we got the FaceTime. And man, let me tell you something. As cool as I thought FaceTime would be, I hate FaceTime. These women make you get on camera when you don't want to. Sometimes you want to be on camera. Sometimes you want to see them on camera. But the reality is they make you be on camera when you don't want to be on camera. Like, oh yeah, where are you right now? You'd be like, yeah, I'm at the library. And they'd be like, oh no, you're not. I want to see where you are. Turn on your FaceTime. Let me tell you something. I had a friend, and he had a psychotic, obsessed girlfriend. And I swear, I can't make this shit up. She would make him, and this is when we were working in the office. Like, he was in the desk next to mine. And, I'd turn around, I'd be talking to him and this, that, and other. And then I noticed his phone was on. And I'm like, why is your phone on? And why do I see the fucking numbers counting on your phone? Turned out she was forcing him to keep his phone active so that she could make sure that there was no other women talking to him in the background. You believe that shit? And I'm looking at his phone. I'm like, yeah, and I'm making jokes and everything. And then I turn around, I look at his phone. I'm like, wait a minute. Why the fuck do I see your phone counting? Why is your phone running? She would run that phone all day on him. She'd make him keep that phone running all day. They ran up crazy bills. I'd never seen a $2,000 cell phone bill. Part of it was because, they'd buy a new phone and they'd add it to the bill. Like, you finance the phone. The other part was the bill. Now, when we started getting, because in the future, see, I'm old. So at a certain point, you used to have minutes. Like you used to have to wait until like 7 o'clock to have unlimited minutes. Now it's unlimited minutes, talk, and text, right? We didn't have that back in the early days, like in 1999 and 2000 and 2001. We didn't have that. We didn't get that until after iPhone pretty much came out, right? But she'd make this dude run his phone all goddamn day. Later on, when Facebook, and some of you could probably attest to this, when Facebook came out, people would use Facebook to harass their girlfriends and boyfriends. Oh yeah, turn on your Facebook. Turn on your FaceTime. I want to see your FaceTime. I want to see where you are. Man, it's like the internet. I think I really believe the internet ruined American relationships. I really do. I really believe it. I believe the internet ruined American relationships. I really do. They'll never confess to it, but I really think it did. Let me keep going. But are women really cheating more, or are they just finally talking about it? See, if you could have kept it secret and didn't say nothing about it, it wouldn't be a problem. But when you've got these newspapers and you've got these online forums and stuff and these panels, and they want to hear people talking about this stuff and people tune in because they want to hear about it, it's like, that's not good, because now nobody trusts anybody else. You see? Now, it's just like in the old days. It's like when something would happen between two people, it didn't matter what there was going on between those two people. It could have been an older woman or a younger man. It could have been an older man, younger woman. But when stuff happened, it was like, it wasn't recorded. It wasn't broadcasted. Like, nobody knew. It was just, everything was hearsay. Now everything's 4K video footage. Before, it used to be everything was hearsay. Now there's a huge transcript attached to everything. I really, really believe the internet ruined American marriage. I really do. I really, really do. In fact, I'll go so far as to say a lot of these passport bros that are going to these poor foreign countries to find women who are raised to be wives, I would have to say that a lot of that's due to the fact that in many of those countries, they don't even have access to the internet in some cases because they can't afford it. Because you got to remember, these phones are expensive. You know, this phone I'm holding, iPhone 14 Pro Max, 1 terabyte, this goddamn thing was $1,750. It's made its money back thanks to my YouTube income, but this is an expensive phone. Now, when you go down to those shitty countries where they just have Androids and the phones are garbage, like if you go to the Philippines or if you go to parts of Thailand where there's people selling these crappy phones and these things are just trash, like these Android phones that you could buy like you're at Walgreens or CVS, and they keep them next to the Dimetapp and the NyQuil. It's like, you know, they're $50 phones and you activate them and then they go, oh yeah, we've got Android Jelly Bean or Jellyfish version or whatever the hell it is. It's like they've got that garbage in these other countries. Meanwhile, I'm walking around with a $1,750 iPhone and these people they got these trashy Android phones. In some of these countries, they live in places, they live in farms where there is no cellular service. So they still have to go to internet cafes just to use the internet. So, there's a lot of guys who are like, you know what? I want to get me a woman who has never touched a computer and she has no idea what QWERTY even means. And that's just what it is. But I really think the internet has done horrors to American relationships. I really think it has. But anyway, let's keep going. It says Piazza told the Post that she really does think more women are having affairs compared to 30 or 40 years ago, largely because of privilege. There are so many more women in the workforce and making their own money, the host explained. When you're less financially dependent on your husband, you're less afraid of possibly losing your husband or ruining your marriage. You're more willing to take chances, to take risks. She also noted that technology, I kind of just said this, has made conducting an affair much easier. Now women can search for one-night stands on their phone. Yeah, but guess what, stupid? When you do stuff like that, you're literally leaving a digital trail. And then I'll say it like this. You're leaving a digital trail that someone else could exploit. You could be blackmailed. The other person could be blackmailed. You're leaving a trail. It's just like when you look nowadays, like when you hear about these scandals where you have people having inappropriate relationships, what is it that usually gets them? It's not that somebody saw them. It's not that, somebody busted into the room and caught them doing something. No, usually it's a trail of text messages. Usually it's a trail of email accesses. Usually it's 4K video from a cell phone. That's what it usually comes down to. In the old days, everything was hearsay. Everything was hearsay. Like in the old days, it might have been, a chick and her work husband. I need a ride home. Could you give me a ride home? So he gives her a ride home, and then they stop somewhere in between the job and home. And he literally blows her back out in the back of his Ford Windstar minivan or his Chrysler Pacifica minivan. But there was no record of it. And because there was no record, after, everybody cleaned themselves up, he continued to take her on home. And probably when they got home, the husband's probably watering the lawn and he drops her off right to the husband. And she, she's already finished fixing her blouse and everything, and the husband's still watering the lawn. And he waves up. He's like, "Hey, Jimmy, how you doing?" "Oh, yeah, hey, what's going on, Mike?" It's like, Becky here needed a ride, and Sally wasn't able to do it, so I just gave Becky a ride. "Yeah, how's everything going, Jimmy?" Everything's going fine. I'm just here watering the begonias. And, Jimmy, if you want to hang out, let's watch football Friday night. It's like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Who's playing? Yeah, the Buccaneers play. And y'all have this bullshit talk after you just blew his wife's back out. And now she gets out, and he's so busy talking to you, he doesn't realize she's like trying to wipe like the milkshake off, like, she's just trying to wipe milkshake off of everything. And he just blew her back out, and you're busy talking. You're having small talk about watching football. And you just don't get it because you would never expect this to happen. Now, that was years ago. Now, people are so dumb that they literally record themselves doing it. And next thing you know, video footage comes out. Or you've got some person who may be in another car, and while you're here, it's like, yeah, Jimmy, Jimmy, I'm on my way home. So, I got a ride from work, and we're just going to stop by Walmart. Is there anything you want from Walmart? So she's getting her back blown out in the Walmart parking lot, and somebody in another car happens to see this happening. So he starts recording it, and he's recording it. And maybe you're on the internet maybe a year later, and you're on X Hamster, and you're watching videos, and you're like, hey, here's a video. It says cheating wife gets her back blown out in Walmart parking lot. And you start watching it, and you're like, wait a minute. That looks like Brad's minivan. That looks like his Ford Windstar. Nah, it couldn't be. Yeah, and that's just what it is. It's like, wait a minute. That looks like my wife. Nah, it couldn't be. Nah, that would never happen. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. And let me just say this. Let me say this, because I've dealt with enough women in the workforce to understand something. These women are bold. All of them have a work husband. And when I say work husband, all of them, there's at least one guy at work who she tells everything. And she talks to this dude. Maybe he comes in the morning and makes coffee for her. Maybe they got a coffee pot and he makes coffee and they're sitting down and he makes her coffee every morning and they talking and this, that, and the other. And that's the work husband. That is the work husband. And you know exactly who it is. I'll say it just like that. You know why? These women are so bold that what they'll do is they'll bring that guy to your house. But they're not just going to bring him. What they'll do is, I want to have a party. Invite everybody from work. You go okay with that, Jimmy? Oh, yeah, no problem. Jimbo or Brad or Chad or whatever, Pookie, Ray, whatever. I got to make up a name and stick with it. Bottom line is, she'll bring that dude to the house. Her female coworkers will be there, but there'll be this one guy, and maybe no other guys. It'll be just one guy. Let's call him Ray. Yes, Ray. We'll call him Ray because I got to stick with a name. So Ray is there, and these women treat it like a play date. Oh yes, and the husband. I got to make up a name for the husband. Okay, so the husband's Brad, and the work husband is Ray. Oh, yeah, Brad, this is Ray. And she'll introduce Brad to Ray. And Ray and Brad will start talking. They start talking about football, all types of nonsense and what's going on with the government and how Trump is doing and this, that, and the other. And you'll think nothing of it. But Ray is her work husband. And you were just introduced. And I guarantee you, Ray is taller than Brad, probably. Ray probably is more muscular than Brad. Ray might be in better shape than Brad. Ray is probably more virile than Brad. She'll introduce you, Brad, to Ray, and she'll keep bringing, every time y'all have any function, Ray's there. He's been to your house. He's ate your food. He's drank your wine. And your dumbass, Brad, you're working the grill during that party. You're working the grill. Oh, everybody, hey, who wants what is it called? Smoked sausage. Yeah, I'm making smoked sausage. Who wants smoked sausage? And Ray's like, yeah, I'll take some of that smoked sausage. And you're standing around the grill just like King of the Hill in the show King of the Hill. You're standing around and y'all's talking at the grill and everything. And meanwhile, Ray's plugging your wife. And your dumbass is feeding Ray Ray. You're feeding him. Yeah, Ray Ray. Hey, how did you like those? Turkey Hill smoked sausages? Oh man, Brad, I loved them. I absolutely loved them. In the back of Ray Ray's mind, he's thinking about all the times he's squeezing up. Let's make up a name for the wife, Becky. Yeah. So in the back of Ray Ray's mind, he's thinking about all the squeezing he did on Becky. Like while he's standing there talking to your dumbass about fucking sausages, he's thinking about how he was tearing Becky's clothes off at work. He's just standing there eating your sausage. He's eating your sausage. He's got some mustard, some mayonnaise, and he's literally thinking. He's like, man, I wish I was at work right now. He's like, yeah, me and Becky. It's like, yeah, this guy, Brad, is a loser. It's like, when I get back to work, I'm going to tear Becky apart. And Becky is over there with the co-workers. None of them, all of them they don't know nothing. They don't know what's going on. And Becky got this all planned out. And your dumbass is feeding Ray Ray. That's how this goes down. These women are bold. Every single day, especially on YouTube, they coming out talking about this polyamory bullshit. They talk about this polyandry. Every day. It's a new video every day. One of them is making a video. And you know what you're expected to do, Brad? You're expected to pay for it. I'll just say it just like that. You're expected, number one, to accept it. Oh, well, it's my body. I can do what I want because I'm a liberated modern woman in America. I'm an American liberated modern woman. So, bottom line, Brad, you're expected to accept it. Number one, you're not supposed to get angry. You're supposed to accept this. Number two, you're expected to pay for it. She's got her hands in your pocket. She's got her hands in Ray Ray's pants. And she also has her hands in Pookie's pocket. And she's got her hands in Pookie's pants. So anything she wants, she can get from one of them. But that's what polyandry is all about. Polyandry is basically, if I can't get it from one of you, I'll get it from the next guy. That's basically what it is. If I want these pair of Manolo Blahnik shoes, and Brad can't afford it, well, Pookie sells drugs. Pookie can afford it. And if Pookie ain't got that drug money this week, well, I'll get it from Ray Ray. That's the game, guys. So all these losers, these YouTube online dating roaches, these Macs, these players, you've heard me say all of this stuff for years. I ain't never ever said nothing about being no damn Mac or no player. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. These dudes are sharing women. And they're literally trying to convince you that this is how you should live. When they tell you, now understand something. We have something called the plantation bros. The plantation bros are staying on the plantation. The passport bros are getting off the plantation. They're leaving. They're getting their passport, they're gone. They planning on getting their passport, they're gone. If they don't already have it, they're planning. Now, the plantation bros are the ones who will stay behind. And they will have no choice but to accept this. Then there's the cleanup bros. See, you know how sometimes you may go to a party and you get there late and the party's over, but you see people cleaning up and they expect you to help because they just see you there and you're expected to help? Yeah, well, you're a cleanup bro. Cleanup bros, the stepdaddies, the dudes who are literally cleaning up. Like, have you ever spilled like white paint and you got to get yourself paper towel and you got to sop up the white paint? That's what you are. You're a cleanup bro. You're cleaning up the white paint. All that white paint was spraying everywhere and you're expected to clean it up. Get my drift? They expect you to accept this. They expect you to clean up. They expect you to pay for it. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Now, and by the way, this is one of our prominent newspapers, the New York Post. Okay, where are we? She also noted that technology has made conducting an affair much easier. Now women can search for one-night stands on their phone. Your spouse may be laying in bed next to you, and you can be looking for someone to have an affair with, Piazza said. The ease of it is making more people do it. Yeah. Some women on the podcast use burner phones. Now, this is some terrorist shit. What terrorists do is they have a phone. If you don't know what a burner phone is, it's one of these really cheap cell phones that in a pinch, you can just take it and you can crack it in half and you can throw it into the ocean or the water or the river or whatever in order to keep the FBI from figuring out that you're in a terrorist cell. And just in case they fish it out of the water, they still can't get any information off of it because it's filled with salt water and it's just destroyed. It's a throw-out phone. Some women on the podcast use burner phones to communicate with their lovers. I don't even want to use the word lovers. Yeah, to communicate with their cucks, their cuckolds. Others use WhatsApp and delete it every night before downloading it again in the morning. Do you know how stupid that is? Do you know how, just sad that is? That's just disgusting. Others only meet men who live outside of a 100-mile radius or only hook up when out of town for work. So, when you see those speeding Nissan Altimas, usually they're going for hookups. Only one woman Piazza interviewed was caught when her husband looked at her phone. Yeah, the dumbass said, you know what? I think something's going on. Let me see if I can get into her phone. They ended up getting divorced. Good for you, Brad. Good for you. But Monique actually thinks her husband knows about her dalliances and that he is fine with it. Yeah, because he's a cuck. You've trained him to be a cuck. Imagine this scenario. She says in episode 3, if your wife had a lover, but at the same time that made her sexier, that does not, let me tell you something. There's nothing sexier being made out of somebody who's literally cheating on you in front of you. I don't know where they get this nonsense from. I don't know what drugs they do in order to come up with this shit. But if you accept this, you're a cuck, a cleanup bro. You're accepting sloppy seconds. That's what you're doing. Okay. Like she would buy lingerie or try things that she'd never tried before. However, you define an increase in hotness. Wouldn't you want that? Are you kidding me? Really? What is this? Oh, look at this shit. Bikini-clad co-ed brawls on beach in Wild Spring. Oh, Jesus Christ. What's this? What happened to this guy's toe? I hate it when they put all this stuff in here because then it makes you do all these side clicks. So that's the story, guys. That's the story, man. These women are bold. They're so bold now. They will Ashley Madison right here. They will literally invite Ray Ray right to your house. Like they're playing, you know what they're doing? They're like playing with dolls. Like, you know how you got Ken doll? You know how you got the white Ken doll and then you got the black Ken doll? And I don't remember if Barbie had any other male friends. I think it was just Ken. I can't remember, but I think it was just Ken. Because, I've bought toys for kids before, but I don't remember if Barbie had other male friends. I think it was just Ken. I'm not sure. But there's the white Ken, and then there's the black Ken. I think there was even a Hispanic Ken. And then they made those Bratz dolls and shit, and then the girls started mixing up the dolls and everything. But bottom line is, they are doing play dates with you. They're using you like you're a freaking doll. And they are literally forcing, like she's standing there. Oh, yeah, Brad, this is Ray Ray. And Ray Ray, oh, yeah, Ray Ray does this, that, and the other. He likes watching Star Trek just like you. And something, like, it'll always be some bullshit. And then you'll start talking. Oh, really? You like Star Trek? What did you think about the last season of Picard? Yeah, well, I thought that the lighting was too dark. And I'm like, they are so bold. And men in general, I'm not. I gotta say this about men. Men in general are kind of stupid. Some men just don't recognize the signs. They don't. See, one thing you gotta understand about your woman, if she's going to work, and now, by the way, this is the reason why some of these religions like Islam and some of these other cultures, their women will all stay at home. And the reason why is because they know that if they send in women to work, chances are their women are cheating on them. Chances are. But bottom line is, when these women get dressed in the morning, they are literally taking the best of themselves to work. Because you think about it, they get dressed, they get showered in the morning, they got the hot dress or whatever it is, they got the dress on, they got the perfume on, everything is like they smelling nice, and this, that, and other. Head on out to work, right? Whoever their work husband, Ray Ray is in this case, Ray Ray is at work, she's giving the best of herself to Ray Ray because she's with Ray Ray all day long. Now, she comes home to you. What time does your wife come home? 6, 7, 8, 9? I don't know. She's giving the best of herself to Ray Ray. Whether she's cheating or not, she's giving the best of herself to Ray Ray. And any woman who happens to be listening to this, they know exactly what I'm talking about. They know it, and they you know what? God forbid they make the mistake of getting in my comments, because I will give them the pen of shame the second they say something wrong. They know what I'm talking about. They give the best of themselves all day long to their job, not you, to their job. That's the reason why you got these, like, I look at Islam and I say, you know what? Islam will never let this happen to themselves, ever. Countries like Saudi Arabia, Iran, they'll never let this happen to themselves. You remember those women who started that feminist shit when they had that World Cup? Yeah, whatever happened to them? I bet you haven't heard nothing from them, have you? Iran said, you know what? Hey, Qatar, yo, listen, anybody in that crowd who's starting that feminist shit, get rid of them, replace them right now. Qatar paid people to come in there and to properly cheer them people playing that soccer. I didn't even watch it because I don't watch that shit. But the bottom line is, whatever happened to all them women from Iran who went over there with that feminist shit? And oh, yeah, I'm going to take off my hijab. I'm going to do what I want. I'm a modern woman. Here's a question, guys. What happened to them? Have you heard anything about them? When was the last time you heard from any of them? That's what I'm talking about. See, Islam, I have to give them all the respect. Prophet Muhammad, whatever, I got to give you all the respect. They ain't tolerating this shit at all. At all. They're not tolerating it. A lot of these other countries, some of these other religions, they're not tolerating this shit. Even in the Philippines, more modern times, you have women, especially these on the internet, with the cheating. In the old days, a woman might be demonized for cheating. In fact, in the Philippines, there's still a law in the books where if you're a man and you come home and you catch your spouse cheating on you, you could literally kill somebody and it's legal. Like, you can look that up. It's a law in some countries where if you catch infidelity, you can X out, delete one of these people. Maybe both of those people. Actually, it's usually one of those people. It's usually one. But in some of those religions, you could take them both out. You could delete them. Control, Alt, delete. Now, here in America, oh, you don't have to do that. You did that. Yeah, listen, these other countries, they ain't tolerating none of that shit at all. They're not tolerating it. And they got laws on the books. I'm not making this shit up. I'll give you links. They got laws on the books. So, this is some scary. This is crazy. This right here is crazy. I don't know. I don't even know. I just don't understand how men can. I don't share anything. I buy brand new cars. I don't even want the smell of you in my car. When I go buy me a car, when I get my brand new electric Cadillac, it's going to be brand new. The only person who's been in that car is the person who bolted them seats in that car and had to test it to make sure that shit worked. Other than that, I don't even want the smell of you in my car. When I buy stuff, I buy everything new. It's like, yeah, you could buy something used. You could save a couple of dollars. No, not me. I'd rather pay full price, get it new. Why do you think I have to keep my credit perfect and spotless? I buy stuff new. I don't want you in it. I don't want you. People get in my car. People get in my car. Sometimes I make them take off their shoes. They're like, why you got to take off my shoes? Because you're in my car. I don't want the soles of your nasty ass shoes on my rugs. That's just how I feel about it. Like, listen, if you don't like it, you can go get in that fucking Toyota Camry or that piece of shit Honda Accord, and then you could drive there yourself. But you get in this car, nah. No. Take your shoes off. In fact, some people keep like plastic bags. And you'd be like, okay, you know what? Before you get in, yeah, put these around your feet. You're like, what? Yeah, it's like, nah, that's how we roll. Like, why I gotta put plastic bags around my shoes? It's because I don't want your filthy ass shoes on my goddamn carpet. That's why. Because I got nice carpet in this car. That's how I feel about it. Some people like sharing this. I don't share anything. I don't share. It's just like when people go to GameStop. They be trading used games in. I don't trade nothing in. I keep all my used games are right downstairs on my shelf. What, you think I'm going to give GameStop or Funcoland my shit and they're going to give me 25 cents for something I paid like $50 for? No. Yeah, okay, yeah, you get somebody else with that bullshit. No. I don't share anything at all. But that's just me. Some of you dating roaches and Macs and players, y'all don't mind tricking on used property. Listen, if that's what you like, you go ahead and do it. I don't do that. I don't do that used game. If you buy used, good for you. Oh, yeah, well, I'm going to buy used because the depreciation allows me to save 20 or 30%. Listen, if that's how you feel about it, go ahead. Go ahead. Get you some depreciated this, that, or the other. Nah, I don't do that. No. I don't share shit. I ain't sharing nothing. I don't share nothing at all. At all. If I give it to you, keep it because I don't want it back. It's like you sharing cups. People be drinking behind other people. I was taught when I was a kid, don't drink behind nobody. I ain't sharing no cup with you. You know how you go to some of these churches, they share the body and the blood of Jesus? It's not, no. You give me my portion and I'll eat my body of Jesus. You give me my portion, I'll drink my body of Jesus. I ain't sharing no cup with your ass. What are you kidding? How do I know you ain't got cold sores on your mouth? How do I know that? I ain't sharing nothing. Nothing. That's just how I feel about it. So that's that. It's like if you want something from me, no, you take this and you take it and keep it. I don't want it back. Nuh-uh. I don't share. Oh, yeah, well, I share my wife. You know, we're poly. We're poly. Man, let me tell you something. They're setting up some shit right now. Once they got that cat's out of the bag, but they're setting up something right now, man. They gonna have problems like you don't believe come later on. It's gonna be crazy. I mean, the STD rates are sky high already. Chlamydia making a comeback, kissing disease, mononucleosis making a comeback, AIDS making a comeback. Notice they don't say AIDS no more. I want y'all to notice something. Nobody dies of AIDS no more. Everybody dies of cancer. I want you to notice that. All of a sudden, nobody dies of AIDS no more. Huh? Really? Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, because I'm stupid and I don't pay attention. Yeah, All of a sudden, everybody dies of COVID now. Nobody dies of AIDS no more. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Herpes. You gotta go take herpes medication. You got what is that shit? Valtrex? You gotta take herpes because your lips got cordyceps fungus popping up all over your lips like you in The Last of Us, and your face is getting popped up and popped all over. Your face looks like people are pointing pimples and popping pimples and popping pimples all over your face. Yeah, right, yeah, yeah. No. No, thank you, Ashley Madison. No, thank you. No. Nope. Nope. So that right there, that's the story, man. That's the story. So listen, you got two choices. Either get your passport and be a passport bro, or be a cleanup bro. be a plantation
phenomenon that's taking the dating world by storm, this thing called passport bros. And apparently these guys on TikTok are bragging about how they're going to other countries, they're finding more traditional women that can cook and clean and act like housewives, and the woke people are getting mad. The Western women are getting mad because our men are going across overseas to find more traditional women, okay? But I just find it funny that the woke people push so much for immigration, right? And then all of a sudden all these bros are going out there immigrating. They're bringing them over, doing it the right way. Get them passport, getting them into the country, bringing in the melting pot that is America. And the woke liberal ladies are like, no, not that way. We don't want it that way. We want to be woke, but not
a place where men are doing this and they're going there and they're finding success? Or is it just that there's a lot of women there that are looking to marry? Like, what is it about the Philippines?
Well, it's a lot of factors. So the first factor, which is huge, is the fact that every Filipino woman speaks English.
Okay, so you don't have the language barrier.
Exactly. The second one is the fact that there are a lot of American and Western men that are already living there that have found Filipino wives. And because it's a developing country, the cost of living there is extremely inexpensive.
Dive on the passport bros phenomenon, and here's an insight that a lot of people miss. The way these men are leaving their own countries to go to lower income countries to find wives, and they say that it's because the women there are more feminine and they really value femininity in a woman. They say that the women in their own countries, they're not as feminine anymore, they're masculine, and they just don't want that in a partner. But then I look around me, my neighbors, my friends, and a lot of the women here are feminine, they're beautiful, they have a soft feminine aura, they treat their men well, they cook, they clean, they do everything. And then I realized that I'm in a high-income neighborhood and their husbands, they're high earners. This just highlights how femininity has become a luxury in the US. Because it has become a luxury that a lot of men cannot afford, they go to places where femininity is the norm and not luxury. And that's okay, good for them. Bottom line is, if you're a feminine woman, you get the best pick of men in any society.